going on, folks out there in tech land? Welcome back once again to another edition of Tech of Tomorrow, where we're taking a look today at the ASUS 980 Ti Strix card. Now, this thing has a shitload of features, comes overclocked right out of the box, has its direct CU3 cooling, and they even have this weird thing called Auto Extreme now, which basically automates their entire process, making it hands off with humans. That's pretty impressive. It uses all quality parts. So all these cards now basically almost have no human involvement at all. It's all like robotic in the building, and that's actually pretty good. And if you guys have seen the backplates on these cards, they're really incredible. Before we jump into the features and all that stuff, let's real quick do what you folks like to do. Let's take a look at the box, do the unboxing, and then jump into the meat and the potatoes of everything else. So right here, obviously, here's the box. I'm not going to dwell on the front and the back of it that much. You guys don't like that. But obviously, a lot of the features I'm going to be talking about are basically on the back of this box. All their stuff for tweaking their GPU, one-touch overclocking, all kinds of stuff. We'll get to that later, but it's all on the back of the box. So nothing much more in the box beyond that. So let's go ahead. I will pop the side of it off right here. We'll pop this cap right here, open it up. Inside, once again, we see the nice Strix nomenclature on the box, making sure you know what you're getting. Pop this thing out of here. Okay, and that's the floor without hitting the animals. If you guys see on the floor, all the animals are down here surrounding me. They all actually want their part in the video, but they're not the stars today. No, the star is the Strix card. So boxy we got here. Box, 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 box. Inception box and box. Here we go. Pop the cap. What do we got? All right, we got this thing right here. Just more folded stuff. You like it when I thought the cameraman missed him by that much. I'll try it better aiming next. All right, once again, more plastic foam. Oh yeah, right at you. Missed him by that much. No, I'm just kidding. But all right, inside of here, this will probably be all the little accessory stuff. We will pop the cap here, see what all comes in here. Do-do-do-do-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, case badge, everything else. Is that it? Yep, all right. Yep, that's it. All right, yep, whoop. All right, sorry, dude. That one got him. But hey, what can I say? All right, so basically, here we go. Get an extension cable. Dual Molexes. This is for your power supply. Let's see here. These are two 6-pins. Driver CD. Speed setup. Unleash your gaming instincts by the Strix gaming line. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Strix is an owl, right? But actually, owls are mean sons of bitches. I thought, okay, owl, they're like a cool bird. When I looked them up, no, no, no. These guys are predators. Owls are mean. So when they're calling this card the Strix, they're not trying to be saying anything pretty. They're trying to say this is one tough mother. Oh, you know what I'm saying. What's my name? That's right. Now. All right, last but not least, we get the little Strix cable thing here. That's the contents. And then we get to the card itself. Bada boom, bada boom. Now, you guys can't tell, but the cards actually consist of 4 separate pieces on the card. 4 complete separate pieces. The top piece, let me get this thing out of here anyways. Boom, 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 boom. The top piece features all of the Strix cooling fans. Now, these fans are all geared to be zero noise. That's right, zero blade fan technology. These things are meant to run quiet, and when this thing actually runs in silent mode, which it does with some games like StarCraft and others, these things go completely off. Some people might be looking at their card going, hey man, my card, it's broken, the fans aren't spinning. But no, that just means that your card's running so cool and so awesome that it doesn't even need it. So the first piece is this, the fan housing. That has those 3 fans we talked about. Then we see the heat fans and the heat pipes. Then the PCB itself, and then the last piece is the rear armor that protects the card against static or other damage. The direct CU3 cooling technology features 2 exclusive 10mm direct GPU contact heat pipes that actually transport 40% more heat away from the GPU than standard heat pipes. So that's a really awesome feature. Keeping the card cool is one of the main things about this cooling and what helps you in overclocking. If you guys know anything about the GPU boost, the boost works off how cool the card is. The cooler the card is, the better the boost is. So this kind of cooling is going to come in very handy in the overclocking department. And as we flip the card over onto one side, we can clearly see once again the Strix nomenclature, which actually lights up when the card is running. Another piece of the heat pipe is sticking out right there as well. And here we also see the 2 8-pin power connectors. As I flip the card around to the back, you can still see the heat fins that are part of the cooling. Not much else there. You can all see a heat pipe running around. And as we flip it around to the bottom of the card, you guys can still see some more of the heat pipe technology. You can also see where the fans are plugged into the PCB itself. And as we finally flip the card onto the rear, you guys can see on the bottom the PCIe insertion slot. And then we flip the card around just one more time. We can clearly see the very beautiful back of the card where it shows the ASUS Strix logo, the owl, and this is actually one of the most durable and nice things about the card. A lot of cards, you can get fingerprint damage on it by just touching it and shocking it out, or it can be damaged by setting it down. Having this excellent backplate to me is a serious thumbs up on any video card, and ASUS, they know how to do it right. And finally, on the back of the card, to wrap it up, there are 2 SLI fingers. This is where you connect your SLI connector, and we were very lucky that the people over at EVGA sent us over their really awesome SLI bridge for doing our next system. Thank you very much, Jacob. Just thought we'd put them in there real quick. Once again, back to the cameraman. Whoop! And oh, you could hear that. He caught that. So pretty much, folks, this is what the card looks like. That's what comes in the box. Let me touch over a few more specific features that ASUS has, and then let's jump into the test system and the benchmarks. Another feature that helps stability and the longevity of the card's lifespan is ASUS's 14-phase Super Alloy Power 2. Super Alloy Power 2 components greatly enhance efficiency, reduce power loss, and provide 2 times quieter electrical noise than standard cards. This allows the card to achieve thermal levels that are 50% cooler than previous generation cards. And another cool thing about ASUS's Auto Extreme technology, I talked about earlier in the video, what makes all their cards automated, is actually uses 50% less power than previously made cards. So that's a total win in the green factor as well. So people out there in the environment and that type of stuff, hey, this is a solid green win for the people over at ASUS. So not only does this new automation program make the cards much better, you know, error-free without humans involved, it also does it with 50% less power drain. So that's pretty awesome in itself, from an environmental standpoint, that is. Another feature of all the new Strix cards are these 3 fans. Now these offer a new wing blade design that's totally patented by the people at over ASUS and offers 105% of static air pressure on the card, meaning that these fans are blowing a lot of air against those heat pipes and stuff to keep this card running cool. And like I said before, in some games like League of Legends and StarCraft, this card goes into complete silent mode and these fans don't move at all. So your card's not broke, it's just in silent mode. Now, last but not least in the card, let's flip the card around real quick and let's take a look at the rear I/O. And on the rear I/O, we see a DVI-D connector, 3 display ports, and a single HDMI connector. So you know this thing's got enough connectivity to hook up to multiple monitors, and the GTX 980 Ti is powerful enough to power up to 3 of these things and still get decent resolutions. Not at 4K, mind you, but hey, sacrifices must be made. The Strix 980 Ti has a power consumption of 375 watts and will require that 8+8 pin power connector that came with the card. As far as dimensions go, the card size is in at 12 by 6 by 1.57 inches, and for the rest of the world, 30.5 by 15.22 by 3.98 centimeters. And for the overclocker, you get ASUS's one-click gaming booster, and there are 3 different ways that this can be used. There's the visual effects mode, which will boost your performance by turning off Windows and visual effects. There's the system services mode, which automatically or manually would turn off Windows services or processes. And finally, memory defrag. This will rearrange and free up your system memory for maximum gaming performance, and it'll do so without shutting off any ongoing processes. And last up, like all Strix versions card, this card has 2 different modes. Now you have the normal mode. Now the normal mode runs the clock at 1190 as its base clock and 1291 as a boost. And then you get the overclock mode, and the overclock mode offers a base clock of 1216 and an overclock boost of 1317. And the memory is also overclocked to 7200 megahertz, so basically everything's overclocked about this card. With that said though, let's real quick talk about our test station. I consider our test system at this moment in time to be pretty mid-level. I know some people out there are going to go, oh no, it's high-end, but it's really not. There are many things below it and many things above it. So right now, my Socket 1155 system has an i7 4770K in it, slightly overclocked, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. We've got a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black hard drive, and that pretty much sums up that system. So without any further words, let's rock out to the benchmark and see how the Strix does against the competition. Let's rock. All right, folks, so there you guys have it. Everything about the brand new ASUS 980 Ti Strix Edition card. Now, this card, even overclocked as it is out of the box, only ran at 77 Celsius. Now, that's pretty good. Now, previously, the only card we had in here that could actually beat this thing, and by a very small margin, was the Zotac version, and it actually ran a little bit hotter, about 10 degrees hotter under full load. So that means that this card right now has more potential and more headroom for doing overclocking at that thing. So think about that. Even right now, what it is out of the box, you still have some room because the card can run obviously hotter because it did on other cards and still perform even better. You get a lot of options with the card. You can set it up to exactly how you want it to be. You can set it up so it like runs, like I said, in its stock mode. You don't have to overclock it at all and it'll last forever. But if you people out there want to push the limits, hey, you get that overclocking ability. Now this card's going to come to market about $670. It's up there with actually this is probably the fastest line of cards that's out there for single GPU there is right now. So you get the fastest that there is. And this card, as you guys can see, it runs cool. It actually ran pretty quiet. Even the test station, we couldn't really hear it very much. So that's a good sign. When you hear a thing blowing in the background, you're like, wow, is that some kind of like lawnmower or something or a wind blower? You got problems. I never engaged that at all with this. It never engaged to those type of levels. So I think that's a pretty solid deal. Obviously, it's a bit pricey. But for you folks out there who want the best, hey, this is a serious card to take a look at. So I hope you guys like this video. Like usual, underneath that like button, which, hopefully you guys know what to do by this time, will be all the information. You want to purchase one of these, just get more information. We'll have a link to their website and where you can purchase one for yourself. I'm Elric. Thanks for watching Tech of Tomorrow. We'll see you guys back here for more tech. And just to let you know, I know my videos have slowed down just ever so slightly. The reason being is I've had some health issues and I'm right in the middle of trying to move. And I'm not trying to publicize it like others and go, oh my God, I'm moving, let's make a bunch of videos, but this shit's happening. So we'll see you guys later, and pretty soon you're gonna see me in a new location. I think I got like 60 days left.